gotta stop yawning right after I press the record button.
It's okay. It's
Howdy.
Hi. Hello.
Yeah. Welcome back to our Pastmates Planet.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna talk about some science and history in a minute.
And we're not sharing a brain cell this episode.
No, we're
Nothing.
not.
I'm just enjoying my beverage.
Pre-game.
Mm-hmm.
What are you drinking?
I'm so glad you asked. It's called Estrella Galicia.
Oh, fancy.
Cerveza Especial Helles export beer. So there's German on there for whatever reason, even though it is a Spanish beer.
Cool.
Anyways, it's good.
It is.
It tastes like beer.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's all you can hope for.
Tastes like a lager. It tastes like...
It is 8:13 in the morning here, so
Oh, yeah.
my beverage of choice
Cheers.
is a sport tea.
Oh, hell yeah.
A sport tea in a Fossil Cove glass.
Obviously. I do love a sport tea. The vibes could be a little bit less different.
Can you really hear the ice?
It's good. That's good. ASMR.
Is this going to be distracting if I'm chugging it the whole time?
I got my nails done yesterday. Look at them. Can you see how sparkly
they're dark? I like. Oh, sparkly. Yeah.
Yeah, they're sparkly. I'm very happy with them. I feel very witchy in them.
I like it.
Which is good because I've also... Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go, because I don't... What I was saying didn't matter.
Okay. I was going to say that in October, I made it a pact with myself that I was only going to read, like, cute little witchy romance novels. And I've done that. I'm on my fourth one. So I'm very happy. I've tried my best to pack as many into October as I can. Some of them are better than others. That's to be expected.
Any recommendations?
The one that I read that I really liked was... I also really like the one that I'm reading right now. There's two that I was like meh about, and then there was two that I like a lot.
Gotcha.
So the first one I read is called Rewitched, and that one is really good. It's by Lucy Jane Wood, and it's just like a story about like self-confidence and like believing in yourself, but basically with magic. And it's also set in London, which is like, you know, cozy and autumnal. Witchy. And then the other two were fine. I won't say their titles just in case this ever...
That's fair.
And then the one that I'm reading right now is called The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches, and it's really good and very funny. It's about a witch who has to... Yeah, it's about a witch who has to go tutor 3 young witches because they don't know how to use their power. But it's also a romance. It's really good. I really like it so far.
Cool.
They're both both of the ones that I like are set in the UK, which is still on brand for me.
Checks out. Yeah. I'm sure it'll come as no surprise that I'm not reading anything right now. Actually, that's a lie. I am a few chapters into several books that I've started over the years.
Over the years. Good.
Yeah.
I'm technically reading 3 books, but not actually actively reading 2 of them.
I finished the Fourth Wing book.
Oh, yeah.
Onyx Storm.
Very good.
And that took me... I started it when it came out in like February, and finished it like a month ago.
It's fair. I mean, I think that's fair though, because you've got to have quite the attention span to read those books.
And it's not even that. It's that I get really mad because I know it's going to end on a cliffhanger, and I know I'm going to have to wait for the next one to come out. And so I don't want it to end, and then I just don't read it.
The problem with Onyx Storm is that I didn't realize that it it was not the last book in the series. I thought it was a trilogy for some reason. No one told me it was a trilogy. I just assumed it was a trilogy for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And so whenever it ended on a cliffhanger, I was like,
What the
Rebecca,
hell?
I'm going to have to go back and read all of Onyx Storm now. All 544 pages of Onyx Storm before I'm able to read the next book. Because I tried to do that with a Sarah J. Maas book. Like, I tried to just go in reading the next one in the series straight, and I was like, I have forgotten completely about everyone and everything in this world. Who is this person?
Yeah. That I just kind of read and hope that it comes back to me as we go, but really it's like there's new characters in every book.
Yeah, exactly. And then
I don't know whose dragon belongs to who until I just try to like hope that I'll figure it out from context clues, and I usually do.
Yeah. I did read them in succession. Like I read Fourth Wing, Iron Flame, and Onyx Storm, all three like within a month and a half. So I remembered from like first to second book.
Yeah. That's nice.
Pretty well. And then it's the third book that always gets me, because the third book always takes me the longest to read, because I've already like inhaled 2 books in the series in about
That's fair.
2 weeks.
This one also took me a minute to get into, I think. I don't know. It was like 6 months ago that I started it. So.
Fair.
I'm going to say that's my excuse. It just took me a minute to get into it.
Took you a sec to get into it. Took you 6 months to get into it. It's fine.
Yeah.
It happens.
I'm bad at it.
It's okay. My favorite, sorry, this is switching gears a little bit, but obviously Book Talk has found me. And my favorite like Book Talk series right now is this woman who does like Book Talk reviews. Like she's active in that, but then she is describing like spicy romance novels to her husband. Like gives him a full synopsis, and then he has to like give her a summary back. And the series is called Freak Academy, and it's like so funny. Like
that's good.
He's always concerned about the economics of the worlds, and like like how cold the female characters are. He's like, what do they do for work? And she's like, a job is not mentioned. So are they like a
capitalistic society?
He's like, a job is not mentioned. And he's like, okay.
What do these people do? What's their 9 to 5?
Yeah. It just can never predict what questions he's going to ask, and it's very funny. So anyways,
that's good. Oh, Toby's here now.
Oh, good.
Hello. Welcome. Just gonna sniff.
All right. Would you like to say anything, sir?
Do you have anything you want to contribute? Okay. Yeah. He's got something to say. You gotta lift your face up so they can see you.
Hi, Tobe.
You have anything to say? No, he's just gonna lick my hand. Okay. Well, he's here now. Yeah. Oh, can you hear his licking? He's not doing it right now.
I heard one lick, and then
big yawn.
I did. Yeah, I can't hear that.
Yeah. Okay.
It's just his nose peeking over the. It's like his nose is like right here. It's like.
You can be here, you just can't be lip smacking. Yeah.
Pourquoi, mother?
Getting a very angry look right now.
He understands English for the most part, I think. Cool.
Yeah. Did I tell you I crystallized a cicada?
Yeah, I did see that. I thought that you were just pinning it at first, and I was like, that seems to have gone wrong.
And then I crystallized. Like something grew on it.
Yeah, I was like, were you trying to put that in resin, and then something happened with the resin? Or okay, you crystallized it. That makes more sense.
I grew crystals on it. Borax crystals.
That's really cool.
And now I have a pot in my kitchen that is dedicated to just borax crystals. Because
you can't cook
like
with
cleaning it
presumably
out.
No. Oh, so it's crystallized.
You can't. I mean, you can just. I could clean it. I would just need to put water in it and heat it up, and the borax will dissolve again. But I kind of want to keep doing it. I just don't have any more. Well, I have one more cicada, but that one I'm making a cicada boy, and it's gonna have one of the little tech deck skateboards.
Oh,
So I don't think I'm gonna crystallize that one.
fair. This is a hobby I'm so unfamiliar with. So
I
cool.
tried to explain it to my grandma.
Oh,
She didn't understand.
I'm sure that went well. She's like, "Why are you touching bugs?"
No, my aunt had told me that she remembered my grandma pinning monarchs and framing them.
Oh.
She didn't find them dead. She killed them herself, which is not what I did with my cicadas. I found them dead on the ground. That reminds me, I have a beetle in my freezer right now. I did find another bug. I don't think I'm going to crystallize it, though. It's too small. I think it's a caterpillar hunting beetle. Anyhow.
How do you kill a monarch butterfly without...
Let me see if I saved the message, because she said what she did.
I heard Toby's growl just then.
No, I did not save how she did it. She just said, when I sent her the picture, Jackie got, pinned, and framed 3 monarch butterflies in the spare bathroom in their old neighborhood. That's all I know.
Okay. Cool.
She did tell me at some point how she did it. I don't know how to... I personally would never kill a monarch on purpose.
No, that seems to be
I don't think I need
to
know how to do it.
Yeah. I was just curious.
And, it was back in the day. I'm sure they weren't endangered then.
The number I saw the other day, the number of monarchs... the number of monarchs has doubled, I think, in Mexico.
Oh.
Like, there's a ton of monarchs now.
Yay.
Which is exciting. I don't know about a ton. Don't fact check me on that. But...
And I'm going to attribute that all to when I went to college and my mom started saving monarchs as her empty nest.
That's her hobby.
Cindy Maxwell single-handedly doubled the monarchs.
Cindy Maxwell is...
a hobby that she has not had for a few years now. But she did it.
A hobby that she took up in Tulsa,
Oklahoma.
Yeah. Obviously. Yeah. I hate to cut off the crystallization topic, but we need to talk about the Louvre heist, obviously.
Yeah.
I read a BBC article on it yesterday.
Uh-huh. I like that they rode away on scooters. I like that they 2025 heist vibes. I'm gonna Lime scooter my way out of here with
not scooters like that. I think it was like mopeds, wasn't it? Or was it like actual?
I don't know. I didn't read much about it. I just heard that they went away.
I think it was mopeds.
Okay,
but they also
less exciting.
It's pretty.
Picturing a Lime
it's
scooter.
Pretty French though. Like it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, not cool. Okay.
Movie worthy.
I get it, but like, I get that the French government is like upset about this, and the Louvre is understandably upset about this. But like, come on, you can't tell me a jewel heist is not like fascinating. You know, like
yeah, it's great. I love the word heist.
Why did they steal these jewels?
I'm in.
Katie, there was a set of jewels, so like these sapphire jewels, right? I think it was a tiara, earrings, and a necklace, and they only took the necklace and one of the earrings. Why only one?
He said,
what was the plan here?
One forever.
It also took them 8 minutes, which is insane. They like did the whole spy thing where they like cut through the window. I don't know if they did it in a circle, but they used angle grinders to cut through the window. They didn't just like bash the window in. They like cut through the window, and then they cut through the glass cases and like basically threatened the security guards with the things that they had used to grind open the windows.
Huh. Yeah, I honestly did not read much about it. I saw that they got away on scooters and that they got up there from like where construction was happening.
A scissor lift, yes. They brought their own scissor lift to the Louvre. And then they took it up
BYOSL.
Mm-hmm. And now the Inspector Clouseau is on the case.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. I just find it very... That was a Pink Panther reference. Have you never seen Pink Panther?
Oh, do you want to know something funny about me? I've never seen Pink Panther. Actually, I think maybe we did it. We watched it once, and my parents didn't like it, and so I just
the Steve
Never came
Martin
back
Pink
up.
Panther. It has a 21% on Rotten Tomatoes, but don't let that discourage you.
I'll let you know if I ever get there.
Yeah. Okay. That's all I had about the Louvre Heist. I just needed to speak about it because it seemed like a very exciting crime in a world of not so exciting crime. You know?
Mm-hmm. A
That's
good
all.
distraction. I like all the memes coming from it.
Me too.
Like the Facebook Marketplace. Found this cool necklace in France.
Oh. Yeah, because they did find one of the crowns that they stole just like on the side of the road.
Oh yeah, they just dropped one.
They accidentally
there's not a
dropped
lot of
it.
cargo space in a scooter.
In a moped? No, not really. There's the place that you can put your helmet, and that's kind of it. So
yeah. Now that I know it's mopeds, it's a little less exciting for me, so I'm just gonna keep picturing scooters in my head.
Okay, that's fine.
And you know what? Now I'm gonna upgrade it from a Lime scooter to a Razor scooter, so they were just having to manually.
Upgrade, is it?
I mean, from a rental to an
depending on how you look.
You own a Razor scooter, you rent a Lime scooter.
True.
So
unless you steal a Lime
adults
scooter.
own Razor scooters. Children ride Lime scooters.
Yeah.
Anywho.
That's unsafe.
Do you want to get started?
Yeah, we should get started. Let's do it.
Okay, I'm so excited. Do you want to know why? You kind of know.
Yeah, I mean,
but I don't think you fully
you always ask me like very specific questions and then tell me not to ask why, and I'm like, well, I'm like, from context clues, I figured it out.
Nah.
Nah.
So today we're going to be talking about what I have called spooky species.
Ooh.
I wanted the alliteration there, but it is worth noting that at least one of these animals is
the same species,
kind of its own order.
Okay.
And so it's like bigger. So it goes kingdom, phylum, class, order, genus, species, I think. So order means like all those smaller things. It like it doesn't. So the order is like, I guess. Okay. I don't know how to explain it, so I'm just not going to.
That's fair.
I'll do an episode on.
Just go with it.
I have a plan to.
You can say like
taxonomy.
I just wanted it for
and stuff.
You can say I
but
just
it's
wanted
like
it
its
for
own
the alliteration. You know.
I did just want. I wanted it for the alliteration. Some of these are.
I don't think anybody's going to be like, well, actually,
and, yeah, it's not that deep, so I need to chill.
Yeah.
Thank you for calling me out on that. All right. So, but what we're going to do that's even more fun, as I've created a tier list.
Oh,
and we're going to be tier ranking.
Like these like S through F
spooky
tier?
Creatures. Yeah, there's S, A, B, C, and F.
Oh, I know how the tier list works.
And not there's 13 of them because that's my lucky number.
Okay.
And good. Also, I guess 13 has, some spooky connotations.
Does indeed. Yeah.
Anyhow, with that, let's get started. First up is one of your requests, and also one that I was planning on doing because same. Shoebill birds. Mm-hmm. Also, their scientific name is not going to be pronounced correctly. Laniceps rex.
Tyrannosaurus rex, yes. I'm familiar. Mm-hmm. Byrannosaurus rex, if you will. Bird-ranosaurus rex.
Bird-ranosaurus rex. Yeah. It is quite the dinosaur of a bird. So their common name comes from their big-ass bill. It looks a little bit like a clog, like a Dutch clog, if you will.
Yeah. Specific but correct.
That came from the website I was reading about it. So their scientific name translates to whale head king because the taxonomists that described it thought it looked like a whale's head.
Oh, like you mean the bill?
Yeah, they thought its bill looked like the whale's head.
Okay, I thought that you meant like a baleen whale head, and I was like,
no.
Not quite, guys, but good try.
Yeah, so their scientific name translates to whale-head king. Other names it goes by are boatbill, swamp king, and my personal favorite, bogbird. I
Swamp
love a
King is pretty
bogbird.
good too.
Yeah,
Sounds like
you
it
can
could
tell
have a
from the name they
reality
live
TV
in
show.
like wetland areas.
Yeah. Yeah, a bogbird.
Bogbird.
They're like, I don't know that they're scary looking bogbird.
You got one of them bogbirds over there.
Oof. Staring into your
Except
soul.
no one, where these guys live, no one has that accent. So they're not talking
Cool.
like that.
Awesome. Never mind.
They have a massive bill. Surprise. It can be 9 inches long and 4 inches wide. And they use it to scoop up huge fish. They also have eyes that just kind of stare into your soul and
Yeah, I
know
really
all of
hate
your
the
secrets.
eyes particularly.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to look at one
They
of
have-
them just to torture myself while we're doing this.
I'm staring at one right now, and he knows what I did last summer. Sorry. That was stupid.
Why is...
I'm so sorry I said that.
There's a picture of this guy sitting next to one, and it looks like they're like in an album cover because the guy is like...
Oh, yeah, I watched the YouTube video behind that guy. He's a little bit
Was it
behind
good?
it. So he looks really small. I mean, it was,
okay.
yeah, it's informative. It's kind of just
Oh
a
my
short
god, it's
video.
eating a monkey.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what happens, how they hunt is they sit completely still and silent next to the water, waiting for the right moment to ambush their prey. Once it comes by, they lunge forward, spread their wings, and plunge their bill down into the water. They then stab, say it's a fish, stab the fish with the pointed hood thing on like the
Yeah, they've
end
got
of their
like a bit
bill.
of a hooked.
Yeah. So
bill.
they stab it with that, and then they decapitate them with the razor sharp edges on their bill, and then they swallow it.
The decapitation is just for fun then, I guess.
Just for funsies, I guess. Yeah. They prefer lungfish, I guess, is their favorite snack. And lungfish can reach 6 feet in length and weigh like 8 pounds. It will also eat catfish, eels, water snakes, and apparently small crocodiles.
Jeez.
And if that wasn't enough, they can also be up to 5 feet tall and have an 8-foot wingspan.
Oh my god, 5 feet tall?
Yeah, they're massive. And that's shoebill birds.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I just saw one eating a baby monkey. Oh.
Where would you like to rank them on the tier list?
Okay, I have questions about the tier list. Is it like
Okay.
S tier means like the spookiest?
Yeah.
S for spooky, obviously.
S for spooky.
And then
A
F
for
is like
almost spooky. B for barely spooky. C for cute, not as spooky. And F for fun.
Isn't there a D as well?
I don't have a D in this one.
Oh, okay, fine.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it is a bird. There has to be spookier things, you know what I mean? But like, I think for the eyes alone, I would give it S. But
yeah, I think that's fair.
I think S is kind of fair. No, not to start off strong like that, but
Hey, we start out however you want. S is fair.
I'm giving it an S then.
All right, moving on. Next, we have a hagfish. These guys look like eels, but they aren't eels. They have like really loose skin, like more skin than they actually kind of need. They use it to protect their organs, I think. They are the only known living animals that have a skull but no vertebral column. So they have like a notochord, which is kind of like a long strand of cartilage running down their back, but no actual vertebral column. Which is, it's rare that you have a skull, but not that. And they're vertebrates. Yeah. They're considered vertebrates, I think. I didn't write that down, so I could be lying. They don't have eyes, but they do have spots. Like they used to have eyes, and they might be able to sense like light changes. They live pretty deep down in the water. And they find their way around with super sensitive, fleshy whiskers around their mouths.
I do see that, yeah.
Yeah. They mostly eat dead and dying animals that fall to the ocean floor. And what they do is they burrow their face into their food and eat it from the inside out. And since the bottom of the ocean isn't, the most nutrient dense place, they also absorb nutrients through their skin and can go a long time without eating.
Mm-hmm.
And they also make slime. This is kind of what they're known for. So what happens is they exude these threads of slime compound that are around like 4 to 7 inches long, but they're 1% of the width of a human hair. But the second this slime thread comes in contact with the water, it expands 10,000 times in size.
Oh my god.
And it's just 3 things. It's seawater, mucins, and slime threads. It is 99.96% seawater, the slime is.
Huh.
And the other
they
percentages
so
are the mucin and threads. But that mixture means that hagfish can make an amount of slime equal to 400 times their own volume.
Oh, sorry. I just, I'm looking at them and I, an involuntary.
Mm-hmm. And that's fair. So they create this slime to confuse predators.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they can maybe suffocate them with it. But then to get it off of themselves, they turn themselves into knots and just kind of roll around in their knot, and it gets the slime off of them, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, they are shown knotted in quite a few of these pictures.
Yeah, so that's hagfish.
Well,
How do you want to rank them?
Considering the fact that it does look
You did have a visceral
slightly
reaction, so we
phallic.
should account for that.
Yeah, I did have an involuntary visceral reaction, so I should account for that. But I don't think that this could kill me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think it's as scary as a shoebill.
I think a shoebill could kill me. So I just kind of find these gross. I just think that they're quite gross. But then the whole eating its prey from the inside out
that's tough, yeah.
Pretty metal. I would give it a B, personally.
B? All right. Going for B. If I can. Yeah, there we go. Okay. I wish I could share this with you, but I couldn't figure it out. And so I'm just going to, instead of a doodle for mine, I'm just going to post the tier list.
Yeah, fair enough.
And I have to post links to all the licenses for all the photos I'm using.
Yeah. That's fair.
Okay. So that's hagfish. Now, next, we have... Also, these are... I thought about doing them in order of, land, sea, other, but then I didn't.
Air.
So,
land, sea,
so
other?
These are in... Yeah,
Terrifying.
Other comes after this next one.
Okay, great.
Kind of. Well... Oh, you mentioned extinct species.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to do a spooky species thing every year because this was really fun.
Yeah. Love that.
Next year, I think I'll do just extinct species.
Love it.
Because there was a lot, and then I was realizing that I could not do that many in the amount of time I have.
Yeah, fair.
Anywho,
That's
next we have the goblin shark.
Oh, I requested this, didn't I?
Yes. And so did all of these suggestions came from you or Macy, Sarah, and Ryan, and I think I might have asked a few other people. I don't know.
Oh, she do
Thank
look
you to
spooky.
my friends who
Bless
gave
her heart.
suggestions. Yes, so goblin sharks live down in the deep blue sea. Typically, males reach maturity at 8.5 feet long. 8.5.
Okay.
I don't know why I said it like that, because that's how I wrote it. But there have been some observed up to 20 feet long. So,
Wow.
They kind of have a pinkish, grayish, fleshy body.
They're quite pink whenever they're dead, which is...
Yeah, and I would like to
weird.
say that what I'm about to say comes directly from, it's a direct quote from the Smithsonian website.
Yes.
They have an absolute unit of a snout that hangs over its mouth.
That came from the Smithsonian?
The Smithsonian referred to their snout as an absolute unit.
Gen Z is in the
running
Smithsonian.
the Smithsonian. Kenzie has infiltrated the Smithsonian.
That's great.
I'm pretty, yeah.
They look like they have a cold. You know what I mean?
Yeah, or like if Pinocchio had like an overbite and was a shark.
Yeah. Like they just
Which
like
is
kind of
maybe
look a bit
specific.
sickly.
Yeah. I thought they looked kind of like an accountant before they unhinged their jaw. So let me get into that part in a second.
Okay.
Their snoot, back to their unit of a snout. It has a really dense amount of electroreceptors that can sense changes in the electrical fields surrounding the shark. That's common for all sharks. This one has like a really dense amount on its snout.
So it's extra sensitive, like, I would imagine.
Yeah. So like other fish swimming by, emitting their own electricity from their nervous system's activity. Mm-hmm. It'll swim by, and the goblin sharks, they move very slowly throughout the water because they have to conserve all of their energy. Mm-hmm. So it slowly closes the distance and then like shoots its entire jawbone forward. So its whole jawbone shoots forward, and at the same time, it has this kind of tongue-like structure called the basohyal. Once again, my bad, probably.
It's fine.
On the floor of their mouth, and that drops down to expand the size of their mouth. So like jaw shoots out, and then that drops down, and that opens up their mouth, and it sucks in water, and they grab the prey, and their mouths are lined with like needle-like teeth for stabbing their prey, and then it snaps back in. It happens so fast because it has these like tendons in the jaw that act like rubber bands, kind of catapulting it forward.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
And
I just watched a GIF.
Yeah, that's how it grabs its food. So that's a goblin shark.
It's kind of funny. How they look like,
just
like Patrick eating the cookies. Like expands the mouth. Oh,
a little goofy looking. So what do you think of goblin shark?
I'm gonna go ahead and say a C because they're like just goofy looking a little bit. Like they just look a little bit sickly, and you can't tell them that they're spooky for that reason.
It's not their fault. They live in deep blue sea.
No, it's not their fault.
Not even blue. It's just black at that point. Pretty sure.
Yeah, it's not their fault.
Okay. Next one is
the other.
Neither plant nor animal.
Okay.
We're gonna talk about cordyceps. Okay. And cordyceps are a parasitic fungus that controls insects.
Yeah, I know what cordyceps are.
There are over 200 species of cordyceps that can infect hosts from 10 different insect orders. There's the word orders.
Okay.
It goes down from. That's not even actually what I was referring to originally, but that works too. Yeah, so what researchers think happens, and this is what I'm about to say specifically in ants. So the fungus infects a foraging ant via fungal spores that attach to the ant and penetrate its exoskeleton. As the fungus grows by feeding on the ant's insides, obviously, it compels the ant to leave its nest for a climate that's more favorable for the fungus's growth. And then the ant descends to a vantage point about 10 inches off the ground, bites into a leaf vein on the north side of a plant, and assumes what's called a death grip. And it exists there now. And so several days after the ant has died, the cordyceps sends out a fruiting body through the base of the ant's head and turns its corpse into a launch pad for its spores to go infect new ants.
Okay. Yeah, cool.
and that's cordyceps.
Hey, did you ever wonder why I didn't watch The Last of Us? It's because of this. It scares the absolute living shit out of me. And I hate the thought that, like, zombies are just real in the ant community. Like, fully.
Yeah. Yeah, crazy, right?
And
How you wanna
apparently,
rank
if
'em?
global warming gets bad enough, according to The Last of Us,
You know,
that
I
could be
didn't
us.
actually. Yeah, yeah, I didn't read into the
I
likelihood
did
of. Okay, I've. Tell me about
2 years ago. It said that because cordyceps, like the leap from
it. They
basically,
like
it's
warm environments.
they do like
Yeah.
warm environments. I don't think that that alone would necessarily stop the cordyceps from infecting other animals, but I think from what I read, like the leap from an ant or a caterpillar was the example that they used. Like a
Mm-hmm.
caterpillar to a human is insane. And like
Yeah,
the cordyceps is probably not strong enough to withstand like a complex body like a
that makes
human.
sense. Well, 'cause, yeah, our internal temperature is much warmer than an ant.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not gonna go try to find out.
Nope.
How you want to rank them?
S, obviously.
Okay.
Hate the cordyceps. Hate it. Hate it a lot.
Cool, cool, cool.
Who
Okay.
suggested that? Or did you come up with that
I don't
one?
remember. I didn't write down who suggested what.
Okay, fine.
That one was during a garage sesh with Macy, Ryan, and Sarah. So it was one of the three of them.
One of you three is on my list now. Ryan writing in the black book.
Okay. Next we have the okay, pause. Hellbender salamanders.
Mm-hmm.
These guys range in size from 12 to 29 inches, or 30 to 74 centimeters, and they can weigh up to
Good.
5 pounds.
They
And
are
they are the
floppy
largest
little boys.
salamander in the Americas. We have, a little close to home, the Ozark hellbender, which exists only in southeastern Missouri and Arkansas.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and they live in really clean streams, and so their biggest threat is pollution.
I kind
I'm
of
pretty sure
think
they
that
are
they're
critically
cute.
endangered.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And
I
they
kind
like
of
to
find
hide
them
themselves. Yeah. They hide themselves between rocks and sit and wait for food to swim by, and then they just snatch them. And that is the hellbender salamander. I didn't write much about them. How do you want to rank them?
cute. Oh, the St. Louis Zoo. Anyways, sorry.
Yeah.
I would rank them a C because they don't scare me. I just think they're actually really cute.
Mm-hmm.
C for cute because they look like snot when you hold them, or they look like a big, like little loogie, like if you were really sick, I guess. And then, and then they like, even when they like have their mouths open, they just kind of look like ah, you know.
Yeah, it's hard to be scared of a salamander. I think their scary thing is just how big they are, but
Yeah,
to me that's just like a puppy. Like,
isn't it just the fact that probably just because their name is a hellbender? That's probably why they're like spooky.
yeah, once again, we love putting hell in titles of things.
And devil.
Hell and devil and yeah, all those. Cool. That's the Ozark hellbender. Next we have the black sea devil / the humpback anglerfish. And these guys live in the deep sea with no light. You'll probably picturing the Finding Nemo one. And according to scientists, the Finding Nemo anglerfish is kind of an amalgamation of a bunch of anglerfish characteristics. So it's not like you can't really name the species that's in Finding Nemo.
Yeah.
As much as I know all scientists wanted to make sure Finding Nemo was scientifically accurate.
Scientifically accurate, yeah.
Anywho, these guys have kind of bulbous bodies with a whole lot of mouth and big sharp teeth. And they have a glowing lure called an esca that comes out of their forehead and contains millions of light-producing bacteria. So they can pulse this light with like a muscular skin flap that they have. and move the lure back and forth, and that's how they attract crustaceans, fishes, and other prey.
Mm.
And they're actually very small.
Yeah.
But also females are much larger than males. So typically the species is 3 to 3.5. Yeah, they exhibit one of the like most crazy examples of sexual dimorphism. So the species is typically like 3 to 3.5 inches long, or like 7 to 8 centimeters.
Mm-hmm.
The largest known male is under 3 centimeters. It's like 1.18 inches long.
The largest known male.
Yeah. Keep in mind, these are deep sea fish, so we don't know a lot, see them a lot. You know?
Yeah, because isn't the last time we saw them the one
that like swam up to the surface? I think so. I don't know.
Yeah.
The largest known female, however, is 18 centimeters or 7.08 inches.
Fat bottom girls.
Which is quite the difference.
Hell yeah.
And its mouth is so big that it can eat prey larger than itself.
He likes a big woman, and I respect that.
Mm-hmm. So how you want to rank them? They're little guys, but they're fierce.
They're pretty ugly, yeah.
They got some teeth.
Yeah, they do definitely have some teeth, but like the teeth are like this big.
Yeah, they're tiny.
They're little bitty teeth. I'll go with B. Yeah, okay. I think that's fair to them. But the one that wanted to see the surface before he died.
They were like, you know what? Fuck it all. I want to see the light.
It was so cute. Anyways, I think that did make me cry at that point, at that time. But
that's fair.
I love the like Finding Nemo one. It's very funny.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways.
Okay, next we have vampire squid. I'm
looking all of these up. I hope you know.
No, that's good because I was gonna send you pictures, but then I keep forgetting to. Glad you're doing that. So their scientific name is Vampiroteuthis infernalis, which translates to vampire squid from hell.
Oh, right.
These guys are found all over the world. Despite that name, they're just like minding their own business down there. So they live super deep sea, deep as in like 3,300 meters.
Oh, wow.
Is I think the deepest they found them. I guess I didn't write how many feet that is, so
baby vampire squid.
They're not really squid. They're kind of more related to octopuses, but they're also not either. These are the ones that are their own order.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
They're the only descendants left from their order.
It looks like just a head. I will say that.
Yeah.
Like it looks like a head of something. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh. So they have they have massive eyes.
Yes. Very big
bright
eyes.
Blue or red depending on the lighting. When they were first described, they got their name from having their bright red eyes, and under their skirt is black. It's really dark pigmented.
Mm-hmm. And
so they're not that big. They only get about a foot long, like 30 centimeters. And they have their 8 arms that are connected by their skirt, as you described, their webbed skin. Yes. The insides of their arms are covered in, I'm going to pronounce this one wrong too, cirri that look like spikes, but they're soft. And they also have suckers. And it's very dark pigmented under there, like I said, kind of where the vampire thing came from.
Mm-hmm.
They have like 2 retractable filaments that have small hairs on them made up of sensory cells, and those can extend a lot further than their arms, and that is what helps them detect and catch prey. And they kind of just feed on marine snow and shit. Do you know what marine snow is?
I assume it's like the massive amount of tiny organisms that are just floating around.
So marine snow is like the dead and decaying parts of fish and animals that die underwater at all. Yeah.
Well, that's
So
one way to
grosser than
call
you
it.
thought.
Grosser than I thought. Yeah, for certain.
I just recently found out what marine snow was. I also thought it was just like little organisms floating in the water. Nope, it's decay.
Animal Crossing.
Um,
There's a vampire
what
squid
else
in
did I
Animal
was in my
Crossing.
notes? Yes, there is. I've caught it. I
Good.
think maybe I haven't.
There's also an Octonauts. I
Oh,
believe that's a television show, a children's television show.
mm-hmm.
And there's a
Um,
vampire squid in there,
yeah.
which is cute.
They have their
It's
bodies
just
covered in
vampires.
photophores, which are
Mm-hmm.
light producing organs that they have all over their body, but mainly on the tips of their arms, and on the males have like a pair of small fins on the sides of their mantle, and so they
Mm-hmm.
also have like a concentration of the photophores
Is the
by the
fins
tips of
the
their
thing
fins.
that looks
Yeah,
like ears?
yeah. hmm
I do
And they have a
like
pretty wild
ears.
defense mechanism. Well, they have multiple defense mechanisms. They do not have ink sacs like
Mm-hmm.
squid and octopuses do. Um, if they feel threatened, they'll curl themselves inside out, so the
Mm-hmm.
spiky looking cirri are exposed. And it also can use photophores, like it'll do the flashing like a light display situation to
Ah,
confuse
yeah.
its prey. And in lieu of ink sacs, they can eject a sticky cloud of bioluminescent mucus,
Whoa.
and that can last almost 10 minutes, and it could like dazzle the predator so it can escape.
Predator's like,
He's like,
wow.
whoa, light
Cool.
cloud, cool. And then the
You
squid's
guys
just like,
ever
all
seen
right,
that?
see ya.
It's like,
It's like, all right,
bye.
got a blast. And that's vampire squid. So they have a scary name and they look kind of intimidating, but they're kind of just doing their own thing, you know?
Yeah. I don't think they look that intimidating either. Is that weird? I don't know. I think they're kind of
No, I don't
cute.
think it's weird. I think they seem pretty peaceful. I think when they like curl inside out and they're like, we know their spikes are soft, but a predator probably doesn't think their spikes
No,
are
they
soft.
probably just look like a bit like a. They just look a bit like a pumpkin when they curl inside out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
How
give
do you
them a
want to rank
C
them?
for cute. I'm sorry. I'm
Okay.
sorry to the mean bad reputation of the big bad reputation of the vampire squid. But I think they're cute.
Okay. Do you want to update on? I'll show you where our rankings are at. We have
Yeah.
at S tier the shoebill and cordyceps.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing on A tier yet. And
Okay.
then B tier we have hagfish and the anglerfish. And then
Mm-hmm.
C tier we have the goblin sharks, those are hellbender, and the vampire squid.
Okay. Okay.
That's where we're at. And we
Okay.
have one, two, three. We're over halfway done. Okay. Bot flies. Do you know about bot flies? You're
Botulism.
not you're not gonna wanna. So they are chunky. They're kind of like fluffy, rounded heads. They look a little bit like bees. But we're not going to talk about the adults today. We're going to talk about the larvae. So the larvae
Um.
are short, pudgy little grubs that live as parasites inside in the tissues of animals.
No.
I'm going to tell you their life cycle. So the adult flies mate, and then the female deposits up to 300 eggs. So she might lay her eggs directly on the host, but some animals are weary of bot flies.
Weird.
Wonder why.
Huh.
Weird. So she'll use a third party host, like a mosquito, fly, or tick, and she'll deposit. She grabs it, rotates it, and attaches like 20 to 30 eggs under the
Oh.
wings for the flies and mosquitoes, and she'll just keep doing that until she's dispersed all of her eggs. And
Mm-hmm.
so when a botfly or the third party transportation vessel, the botfly Uber, if you will, lands on the host, the eggs drop onto the skin and burrow into it. So the eggs hatch into the larvae and they grow and molt. And once they are big enough, they drop down into the soil to become pupae, and then they molt into adult flies.
So
If
they
an animal
eventually
is,
come out on their own.
they do come out.
But I
They come out
imagine
when they're
that's not.
ready. So if
I
an
imagine
animal is
that's
like,
not comfortable.
probably not. If an animal is licking itself, it can also journey into the intestines and attach itself to the stomach lining or the small intestine, and then it'll come out in the animal's poop when it's ready. Last thing,
Thank God.
Dermatobia hominis is the only species that can that we know that parasitizes humans. That's botflies. That one I think was Ryan's suggestion.
Ryan?
So, well, how do you want to rank them?
It's S. I mean, that like produced just so many. I can't hide the fact that that produced a lot of physical reaction in me. So
Mm-hmm.
I could like I saw one picture and was like, nope, not looking at not looking at that anymore. Oh my god, that's horrible. Oh my god. Now I'm gonna think of that every time a mosquito lands on me. I just want to say we're both doing kind of gross things today. Mine's kind of gross too. So
Fun. Okay, well, next let's talk about eyes.
Aye.
For your lookup purposes, spelled Aye. Aye.
Aye, Captain.
And these guys kind of look like a rat mixed with a raccoon, but it's a lemur.
Good.
And they are very
like
small. So up to this was Macy's suggestion, and she said that, but Maurice was based off of a different type of lemur.
Okay, fair.
They are only up to like a meter long, which includes their tail, and their tail makes up like half their body length. And they have wet noses like dogs, which isn't spooky. I just thought it was cute.
That is cute.
And they have massive ears and long ass fingies. This is where it gets spooky. So they have these like they go around and they have this special skinny extra long finger that has like no muscle mass that they use to tap on the trees, and then their big ears listen for hollow spots where grubs might be hiding. So then when they find one, they use their incisors, which are kind of like tilted out a bit so they can make a hole in the tree. And then they use their middle finger, I think, is like extra long and also is muscular. And they just like scoop it into the hole they made and grab the grub out of it and eat it.
Okay.
They just have creepy fingers. Their fingers can really be 3 inches long. 3 inches on an animal that is like 1.5 feet.
That's
imagine
wild.
Your finger, but on a tiny animal. They also have claws instead of nails, and their teeth never stop growing.
Oh, like good.
So that's eyes.
I think that has to be my first A, because they are almost creepy. Like the finger thing is like deeply unsettling.
Picture like in in scary movies when like the demon's hand like slowly appears over someone's shoulder and it's all creepy. That's like how I picture eyes fingers, and that is kind of what they look like.
Just imagine seeing that in the wild.
Like imagine being a grub and you just see a long finger come down at you, and you're like, "Oh, it's over."
I mean, even in general, just like seeing them do that, like you see this little thing with its yellow eyes come out, and then it just goes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, hate it.
Yep,
hate it.
Yep.
So bless them, but that's an A for me.
And that's fair. Okay, next we have telescope fish. These are freaky looking dudes, but also their face is kind of endearing. Like they look like they're just really nervous to be there, but also they look like spooky. Like they're kind of smart. They have really big mouths. Their mouths extend way further past their eyes, and their eyes are kind of tubular and look a little bit like binoculars. Telescope fish look like telescopes. That's where they get their name from.
They're actually really endearing. It looks like he has little pigtails.
He's just so nervous to be there.
Hi, guys. I brought pizza.
They think that their lights are used to see faint silhouettes of the prey above it, and because of that, they think it glides through the water vertically to keep its eyes aimed upward.
That's cool.
And they have a big ass mouth and sharp ass teeth and can swallow prey up to twice its own size.
Cool.
And also, because as you can see, they are translucent.
Mm-hmm.
Their inside of their stomach is black. It's opaque, kind of like a blackout curtain, so that predators don't see the potentially bright prey that it eats.
Right.
And that's telescope fish.
I'm going to give it a B.
A lot of these deep sea creatures I'm talking about, we don't have a lot of information on them because
that's fair.
They live far away.
I just genuinely think that they're so endearing, but
right?
They get a B for effort of trying to be spooky. They kind of look like a ghost. It gives Casper to me. Like Casper the Friendly Ghost.
If Casper was like a deep sea fish.
Creature. Yeah, obviously.
Creature. Yeah. I agree with that. I like it. Okay. Next we have the Goliath bird eater. This is a very large tarantula. The largest spider in the world by mass and body length. They can weigh 6.2 ounces. And they can be 5.1 inches or 13 centimeters.
Like my hand?
Yeah, it's a big spider. Their leg length is second only to the huntsman spider, which is another big one. So their name comes from an 18th century engraving that shows one eating a hummingbird, but they actually don't really prey on birds. Rarely. They've been observed feeding on things like rodents, frogs, lizards, and snakes. So amphibians and stuff. So,
they probably could eat a bird if they could catch it.
They could definitely. Yeah, they could, and they have, but it's not that's not normal. What they're aiming for,
Okay.
So they drag their prey back to their burrow once they get it, and they liquefy their insides and suck them dry. A whole new meaning to getting sucked off.
They make a rat smoothie is what they do.
They
make a rat smoothie, and they don't use any extra dishes. They will say that.
No,
they just give it. They give it a good,
They're a one-pan meal kind of.
Yeah, one-pan meal of the animal kingdom.
Females can live. This last two things. Males will live 3 to 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
Females live 15 to 25 years, and that is Goliath tarantulas.
I'm gonna have to give them an A. They're just doing what they're doing, to be fair. And their eyes are still very endearing, as most spiders' eyes are. Mm-hmm. But the whole body smoothie thing is not. Does not go down with me. Yeah,
it's a little spooky. This next one is quick. This was, I think, this was Ryan's suggestion.
So it's gonna terrify me.
I don't think so. Vampire deer or water deer. They do not have antlers like other deer. They have tusks that look like fangs. And they're just up to 2 inches long. And also, the deer don't get bigger than 2 feet tall.
They just look like...
So they're just little guys with fangs. And they use their fangs as weapons like other deer use their antlers.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And that is vampire deer.
It looks like a deer with a Halloween costume on, so...
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a C.
That's fair. Okay, and last one, we have bone worms. Bone worms live in the deep sea, and they can be anywhere from 1 to 2.8 inches. They're not big, and they're kind of pinkish red tube worms that look kind of like a little feathery. Mm-hmm. And they feed on bones of whales that fall to the bottom of the ocean. So what happens is they secrete an acid to burrow into the bone, And then they have bacteria that lives inside of them, and the bacteria digests the bone, and that creates the nutrients for the bone worm to use. And that's bone worms. So they don't look spooky, but they eat bones.
Yeah, that's pretty metal of them, to be fair.
Yeah.
I also just saw a thing from NBC News that says fossils show how bone worms dined on ancient sea serpents, which is crazy.
Whoa.
So maybe there was other sea serpents that we don't have any idea of because the bone worms have eaten them. Yeah, I'll give them a B for that. They're not spooky, but like eating bones is, don't know of many animals who do that. Like it.
And that's all. Do you want to? So I'll let you know where we ended up.
Yes.
In S tier, we have the shoebill, the cordyceps, and the botfly. In A tier, we have the and the Goliath tarantula.
Yeah.
In our B tier, we have hagfish, humpback anglerfish, and telescope fish, and bone worms. And then in our cute tier, we have goblin sharks, Ozark hellbenders, vampire squids, and water deer. And nothing in F tier, which I'm glad we didn't put anything in F tier because that makes me sad.
No, I can't. Like,
I didn't want anyone to feel left out, you know?
All of these guys are doing their best, so I don't want to like hold them back. I'm happy with our tiers.
And this was the first ever spooky species.
First annual spooky species.
Spooky month. Yep.
Yay.
The end.
Good work. I liked that a lot. That was really fun.
I had fun making it. Alex, a long time ago, I think when I did like the Mariana Trench or something, and I was just talking about creatures, he was like, I want a whole episode of just that.
That's fair.
And so this episode
I really
is dedicated
enjoyed that.
to Alex.
As it should be.
It should be. All right, your turn.
Are you ready for me to tell you about something gross?
Yeah, gross me out.
All right. So our topic was, I was trying to think of other spooky topics, and I just really couldn't. Like haunted houses have been done, witches have been done, that kind of thing. And so Macy actually suggested just the worst thing in the world, which is that there used to be, basically she suggested mummies in a roundabout way. And I'll get to the fun fact that Macy gave me. And she also gave me one of the articles that I used for this, which was called, it's from sciencehistory.org, and it was called Mummies and the Usefulness of Death. So today we're going to talk about corpse medicine and mummies in Western Europe, which is specific, but that's the only title I could come up with.
Wait, say that again. Sorry, I was
corpse medicine and mummies in Western Europe.
Corpse medicine and mummies in Western. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to start off strong. Starting in the 12th century, Europeans started eating mummies.
I figured that was maybe where that was headed. Nice.
Yep. They thought that mummies had medicinal benefits. So basically, this started whenever Europeans started exploring Egypt, and then it peaked in the 16th and 17th century, so the 1500s and the 1600s, when mummies were sold at local apothecaries, either cut up into chunks or ground down into powder. That comes back into play later.
Okay.
It was actually so common to eat mummies that it was referenced in Shakespeare and also Edmund Spenser's The Fairy Queen, because that was just like a thing that people did, and they didn't think it was that gross, I guess.
Huh.
So
how do you source
you might be wondering why. Well, it's kind of easy to source a mummy. Once you find the mummy, you just and then.
Well, yeah, but how do you find the was everyone mummified back then? Are we mummified now? What constitutes a mummy? Let's go back. Tell me what mummy. What is mummy?
Tell me what mummy. Tell me how mummy.
Who mummy?
Who mummy? How mummy? Yeah.
How mummy? Who mummy? Why mummy? What mummy?
What mummy? So mummification is just the embalming of a person after they've
So
died
like, if you just
to
okay, so
preserve
if
them.
like anyone that's just buried and not cremated is technically like a mummy. Sort of,
No,
kind of.
not necessarily.
Okay.
I mean, I guess
Or is there
humans
like extra
nowadays.
preservation techniques?
Yeah, yeah. It's
Okay.
like they go through a lot of like processes to like preserve the skin, and they take out all
Okay.
the organs. Not that they don't do that now, but like they take out all the organs and that kind of stuff, and like
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they do a bit more than like the United States death culture of like trying to
I
make
gotcha.
people look like wax figurines of themselves
Yeah.
does, if that makes
They're
sense.
not just in it for show. They're in it for
No,
preservation.
no, they're in it for preservation
They're
because
not
I
slapping
think
mascara on that mummy.
no, because as far as I know, ancient Egyptians preserved the bodies of people because um, they believed in an afterlife where you would have to use your body. And like that's why they buried people with a bunch of stuff as well, like food and stuff like that, because they thought that they would have
Okay.
to use it in the afterlife.
I
Um,
gotcha.
so it actually, the eating of mummies though began by accident because um,
Okay.
there's this thing, yeah, there's this thing called bitumen, which we call asphalt today.
Yeah.
Um, and it was kind of a
Tar.
wonder drug of the ancient world.
Interesting.
That sounds weird to us nowadays, but basically it was really good for because it was solid whenever it was cooled and it was sort of melty but like pliable, I guess, whenever it's
Mm-hmm.
heated. It was used to set broken bones, and you could make like poultices that you would put over wounds, so then it would be protected and like water sealed,
Okay.
kind of. Um,
Tar band-aids.
yeah, tar band-aids, and then also like I don't know about the efficacy of this, and I don't recommend this, but Pliny the Elder recommended it with wine for
Pliny.
coughs and Pliny, I
You
know,
know
our
that guy?
Herculaneum friend.
Ah.
Although wasn't that Pliny the Younger?
Pliny the Elder died. Pliny the Younger is the one that witnessed it and
Yeah,
lived to tell the
Pliny
tale.
the yeah.
Yeah.
So Pliny the Elder,
Mm-hmm.
presumably the father of Pliny the Younger, but you know,
Mm-hmm.
um, recommended it with like mixed with wine for coughs and dysentery.
Okay.
Who's to say if that
Pairs
worked?
nicely with
Or
wine.
or you could mix it with vinegar to remove clotted blood. So,
Okay.
also apparently it was used for cataracts, still unsure, toothaches, unsure, and skin diseases, which makes a little bit more sense because then there's like a bacteria barrier,
Yeah.
I guess.
I guess. Yeah. Hmm.
And also, so bitumen originally comes from the Middle East. Um, like that's where it's found naturally. So it was used throughout the Middle East and different countries, well, countries, different languages and different cultures had different names for bitumen. So the Farsi word, so this comes from like Iran.
Mm-hmm.
The Farsi word for bitumen was called momia, which is just the Farsi word for wax, which is mum, mixed together with I guess iya, and it sort of just described like a waxy substance, but mumia
Okay.
is what
This
it was
sounds
called.
like mummy. I think I know where this is
Right.
going. I think I
Yeah.
see where the accident came in.
So when Europeans first started going to Egypt in like the 12th and 13th centuries, they saw this like blackened coating on the outside of mummies because mummies
Mm-hmm.
were preserved, but their skin had like blackened due to some of the embalming fluids that had been on it. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and they mistook it for bitumen, which was true in some instances, but not necessarily true in other instances.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like they started using bitumen later, and it was mostly for common people. So kind of right, but basically they started calling both the substance and the bodies mumia, which is why we call them
I
mummies in the first
gotcha.
place.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Cool.
So it like gave the mummies their name, and then you can
Mm-hmm.
see how that devolved. And it was this guy named Gerard of Cremona. He was a European translator, and he translated Arabic texts, and he redefined mumia. So he, instead of like taking the common um, sort of idea of what they already thought it was, which is like both the substance and the body,
Mm-hmm.
he said, quote, the substance found in the land where bodies are buried with aloes, by which the liquid of the dead mixed with the aloes is transformed and is similar to marine pitch. So basically, he described mummia, like that's how
Mm-hmm.
he defined mummia, is the bodies themselves. So this is
Okay.
where the definition gets blurred, and it's not
Gotcha.
necessarily just bitumen anymore. It's also code for the actual humans themselves.
Yeah. Cool, 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 cool.
Yeah. So, like I said, bitumen wasn't actually that often used in Egyptian mummies. It was actually usually resin of some sort. It only came into practice to use bitumen after 1000 BCE, when the common people started getting mummified more often. So, initially, mummification was just for like rulers, it was
Mm-hmm.
just for the ruling class. And then, as more materials were able to be found cheaper. Like I said, like bitumen was a fairly plentiful resource in the Middle East, and so or Africa even in this case, and so it was a cheaper substitute for a resin, and so they used bitumen on commoners. Uh, yeah, Europeans didn't know that though, so they thought that they were eating just like pharaohs basically, because they didn't understand that people were mummified after pharaohs who were just common people. Like, yeah, initially the practice
Mm-hmm.
was reserved for royalty, but then after that it was like just a normal thing to be mummified.
Yeah.
um, but bitumen is naturally antimicrobial, so it is actually good for embalming and made these mummies
Mm-hmm.
fairly good. I love asphalt.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so, uh, from 2600 BCE onwards, actual embalming ingredients included myrrh, cassia, cedar oil, gum, spices, and natron. And we know that because of Herodotus, who wrote about it in the 5th century BCE. But by the 1st century BCE, so that was kind of our like first record of like what actually went into embalming. But then by the 1st century BCE, Diodorus Siculus had said that also people used Dead Sea bitumen, so asphalt from the Dead Sea, and cinnamon in embalming, I guess, to smell good. I don't know.
Okay. Sure.
Anyways, so like I said, whenever Europeans started exploring Egypt in the 1200s, they were looting tombs for mummies, and yeah, it was just this thing.
Mm-hmm.
So there's actually an account I want to read about a 1586 mummy stealing mission. So, quote, we were let down by ropes as into a well, with wax candles burning in our hands, and so walked upon the bodies. I broke off all the parts of the bodies to see how the flesh was turned to drug, and brought home divers' head, hands, arms, and feet for a show. They have no
For
noisome
a
smell.
show?
They have no noisome smell at all, but are like pitch. No noisome smell. I think noisome should be brought back as like,
I agree.
oh, you're smelling very noisome today.
That's what I'm gonna start doing when I go into the garage and it smells like weed. It's very
instead, of
noisome
saying,
in here.
instead of saying it smells loud,
It smells very noisome in here.
it's quite noisome in here. Um, We should plug in a Febreze post-haste. But okay, so there's this guy in 1586 is talking about this like adventure mummy collection, thing. But fraudulent mummies were really common. So this guy named Tome Pires, who was a 16th century Portuguese apothecary, he talked about how merchants would just sell toasted camel flesh as mummies because Europeans didn't know the difference.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, in 1564, Guy de la Fontaine, he was the physician to the King of Navarre. He discovered that merchants were faking mummies, basically just killing people, like using slaves and commoners.
This
Didn't
is like
matter
those
if they were diseased.
the corpse thieves from the last one. It's
Right.
like that. They're like, oh, we'll just murder.
We'll just kill them. Yeah.
Or
we'll like wait until they die from some horrible like dysentery or pox or whatever, and then just give it to the apothecaries to eat, for people to eat, which is obviously not going to help. So this is sort of summarized by this guy named Carl H. Dannenfeld, who said that the merchant cared not what disease had caused the deaths, since when embalmed, no one could tell the difference anyways. So I think it was more so that they weren't like killing people, they were like waiting for them to die of some horrible disease, and then once they died, like they would just embalm them because no one's gonna know. How would they know?
Nobody's gonna know.
So eating mummies isn't that weird, because by the Renaissance, cannibal medicine was like fairly normal.
Of course.
There's a historian named Richard Sugg who wrote a book called Mummies, Cannibals, and Vampires. And this is a quote from him saying, "The question was not should you eat human flesh, but what sort of flesh should you eat?" So I'm going to go through some of the uses of human flesh. So supposedly, right?
Yeah.
So the skull was used for obviously treating head ailments. Like treats like in this instance, quite a lot of the time. The 17th century brain science pioneer named Thomas Willis actually brewed powdered skull with chocolate for apoplexy, which, if I'm not mistaken, is seizures. Oh no, unconsciousness or incapacity resulting from cerebral hemorrhage or stroke. So, I mean, I guess you could have a seizure.
Well, maybe that sounds like
it's a rupture of an internal organ. Yeah. Brain stuff, like brain hemorrhage. Brain do bad.
Brain no work.
So in order to make that brain better, obviously, brain go boom, and then you mix chocolate with powdered human skull, and then
obviously Nesquik. That's
Nesquik.
That's where powdered Nesquik came from. And you know what? That's the ingredient they don't tell you about.
We can take out the human skull, but like, we should keep the chocolate. Actually, King Charles II drank a thing called the King's Drops, which was a tincture that was made with powdered human skull and alcohol. So those men be doing weird shit.
Ew. Boys are so weird.
Even if a skull was buried and like that was it, and then moss grew over the skull, they would use that. It's a moss called usnea. I think that's how you pronounce it. It was powdered for nosebleeds and epilepsy. Human fat, which is a horrible, horrible thought for me.
You want to see 5 pounds of human fat? Because I have some downstairs.
Why?
Can I go get it?
Sure.
I don't need to go get it. I want to go get it. I'll be right back.
Go get it.
So this is my 5 pounds of fat. Wait. This is my 5 pounds of fat.
Why do you have that?
Well, it's been in my dad's office for as long as I can remember.
It's actual fat, like actual human fat.
No, it's like a model.
Okay,
it's like God. Silicone.
Oh my God, Katie. I thought you had actual human fat.
Yeah, I would just keep that around. I also have 5 pounds.
First of all, I had a lot of questions. First of all, where did you buy that? Second of all,
I don't know where my dad got it. Ooh, that reminds me, I have a website to tell you about that has changed my life.
Okay.
But this has been in my dad's office for like as long as I can remember. And it is the visual. My dad's a doctor. It's not weird. He retired. So it's like the visual source of all of my body image issues.
Oh, good.
So when he retired, I asked if he still had it and if I could have it. And it makes a really good punching bag.
Hell yeah.
So love I just kind of beat on it when I get
mad. That's so symbolic.
Yeah.
That's great.
It's been great.
I love that for you.
So that's my 5 pounds of fat.
Okay, great. So you could have melted that down back in the day and used it for wounds and gout, obviously. German doctors...
Got 5 pounds just waiting.
Or a wound. German doctors, you can follow their lead. They were melting down the fat, soaking bandages in it, and putting it on wounds. They also used it as a skin rub for pain relief if you need that. So
cool. I guess I could see it being like moisturizing, but
I mean, obviously,
right?
Any sort of fat is like going to be moisturizing, but pain relief. I think pain relief, and basically, I think it's just anecdotal because you could use any sort of moisturizer, and if you rub it on your skin, like give yourself a massage, it's gonna feel nice, and you probably are gonna have pain relief. I don't think that's necessarily exclusive to human fat.
I would agree.
So, yeah.
But you know what? I think one of those instances where we were born in the right generation.
Yeah, 100%. 100% yes. That we know actually what's going on in our bodies whenever we have illnesses. Thank God.
And we don't eat corpses.
And we don't have to eat corpses anymore.
Mummies.
So,
sorry for the interruption of my fat.
It's okay. Another part of the body that was very useful was blood. So the 16th century physician named Paracelsus, he claimed that blood was good for drinking because it basically based on the type of person. I don't know about this though. Basically, based on the type of person, it could bring you what like you wanted from that person. Like if you drank the blood of, for instance, the Romans decided, this is an old tradition, like it just came in and out of fashion like throughout the years. Romans drank gladiators' blood because gladiators were really strong. Or like so it was common for poor people to buy cups of blood from executions because it was better if it was fresh. And if you just bought blood from an execution, if you just, cut off the head, hold a cup under it. Yeah. Yeah.
No thanks.
There's even a Franciscan recipe from 1679 that made blood marmalade. So
I don't even like if I floss too hard and my teeth start bleeding. I don't even like that. I guess it's not my teeth bleeding. My gums bleeding. I don't like the way that tastes. That's disgusting.
I don't think it was for the taste.
Well, sure. But
yeah.
I think the taste alone would have stopped me from making a decision to drink blood.
That's fair. But you have to suspend disbelief a little bit because it's like the time and period that they were in. It was very common to believe that the spirit was physically in your blood. Like that someone's soul lived and existed in their blood. And so if you drank their soul, and this dates back to like I said, the Romans, Mesopotamians, and ancient Indians, that consuming someone's blood or consuming any of their remains was seen as sort of absorbing their vitality. So if you drink the blood of a young man and you're an old man, you'll get some of his vitality. That was the idea.
Gotcha.
And the church didn't correct anyone, obviously, because...
Is this where vampires came from?
Could be.
Some people just got a real taste for it and decided to keep going.
Could be.
And then they evolved to not be allowed in houses unless you invite them.
And not liking garlic.
And to be afraid of garlic.
Whatever reason.
Weird evolutionary traits in vampires.
Feels like Italian. Feels like Italian slander to me, but anyways. Despite the fact that... I will say, despite the fact that Western Europeans were obviously doing this for centuries on end and just,
Mm-hmm.
eating people, they still look down on in Northern Europe, Catholics because of transubstantiation. So they literally
Mm-hmm.
turn the wafer into God. We've talked about this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was cannibalism, and that was bad. And then also indigenous cannibalism in the Americas was bad, even
Oh,
though
of course. Because
because they're
yeah.
savages.
Yep.
Obviously, kidding. And I
Every
like
time
this.
we tell a story, it turns into just more reasons to hate colonizing.
Well, I mean, not
as if
even
there's any reason to not.
hate. It's just kind of
It's
like
just
the
like,
way
of
that
course.
history was, isn't it? Like sometimes you have to just like, obviously there's going to be racism. Obviously there's going to be xenophobia. Obviously there's going to be like,
Yeah.
sexism. That's just the way that the world was for a really long time,
Which is
unfortunately.
just never gonna not be insane to me.
Doesn't make it right. It does.
Yeah.
It is just the
did
reality of
happen.
how the world was.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Better to learn
Again,
about it than throw a Bible in a kid's elementary school.
yeah, that, and also
Mhm.
it's better to learn about it than have to experience it, I think, as well.
Yeah.
Like, have to experience, like,
A lot of privilege.
I don't know, not being able to
To be able
vote
to
or
talk about
like
it. Yeah.
not being able to apply
Have
for
a
a credit card.
podcast.
Yeah, have a podcast. God forbid women speak on the internet.
Yeah.
So, but I liked this quote from Vanderbilt anthropologist Beth Conklin, who said that almost all non-Western cannibalism, like cannibal ritual practice, is very social. So, like when you're with other people, it's a ritual of eating another human, rather than the European process, which is not social in any way. It's just human beings were reduced to simple biological matter, and they were just any other, like equivalent to any other kind of medicine, essentially. You weren't really thinking about the fact that you're
You're
eating
eating a
human.
human. Yeah.
It was just medicine.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think is a fascinating thought to ponder, of like Eastern and Amerindian ritual cannibalism was just that. It was ritual. It wasn't like they were eating them for a purpose, but it was more of like a social purpose rather than a traditional purpose, rather than this is going to make me strong like that man that died.
Yeah.
Obviously, this practice did decline, but remnants of it persisted. So in 1847, an Englishman was prescribed skull and treacle, which is molasses, to his epileptic daughter to help her seizures, and apparently it didn't work. But we have a record of it. And then in the 1880s, there was this belief that like still existed, that there was these things called thieves' candles, which were made out of human fat. They didn't exist, but people believed that they did, which is crazy. In the early 1900s, mummy was still listed as a German medicinal ingredient, like in apothecaries. You could still buy mummy. Mummy? And the last known attempt to drink blood at an execution occurred in 1908 in Germany.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's more recently than I would have liked to hear.
Yeah, true.
All right.
However, we still use humans to provide us with medical, like, cures.
Hmm?
Like, people get blood transfusions all the time.
That's a good point.
And also skin grafts, and also Can you imagine the like?
But we're not
the
eating
Renaissance.
it, and I think that's the difference.
We're not eating it, but we're putting, like, you can put someone else's like corneas and like eyes in your head.
Yeah, that's wild to me.
You can use someone's heart, like take someone's heart.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I think it's like, it sounds really gross to us because people were obviously just eating this stuff. Like that is like a very visceral thing, because we tend to like associate food with pleasure. and eating other humans associates food with the grotesque. And I think that that's probably why it disgusts us so much as modern human beings without any sort of scarcity. But yeah, I mean, people using other parts of a person's body can medically help people. So it's not all bunk science. It's just, you know. And then these are some things that I had no idea where to put, but I did want to say them because they're creepy.
Cool.
So the whole thing that started this off was that Macy told me about this paint called Mummy Brown that was literally made from mummies.
Oh my God.
So there's examples of, there's like a really famous painting, a French painting. There's a really famous painting by Eugene Delacroix. It's like an image of a woman with the French flag, like she's got a boob out and she's like going like that. That one is called Liberty Leading the People. And that is claimed to have been painted with Mummy Brown. And then there's also Martin Drolling's Interior of the Kitchen, which is believed to have been used Mummy Brown a lot. And then there's like several other artists, but those are probably... and then also Last Sleep of Arthur in Avalon by Edward Burne-Jones is also a famous example. So yeah, people in the 1800s was using mummies to paint because they made nice shades.
You just gotta get your pigments wherever you can.
Yeah, I guess so. In fact, in 1915, a London art supply dealer, said that one mummy could last 20 years. So take that as you will. You can still be mummified today if you want, by the way.
Oh, cool.
It's $67,000, but it is done in Salt Lake City by what I would call pseudo-religious group who sort of follows like ancient Egyptian practices. And it's called Summum, and they do pets and humans. So if you're interested in being mummified, a cool $67,000 for that. That's wild. The only known like commercial mummification process that you can go through today.
Well, I think I'll pass, but
yeah,
glad to know the offers. Glad is maybe not the right word.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah,
you can do it.
Now I know. And then
that. I just as a little like cherry on top of this, Victorians were absolutely upset. Like Victorian Europeans were absolutely obsessed with Egypt. And that led to something called mummy unwrapping parties. So
unboxing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna read if they had YouTube back then.
I'm gonna read it's quite a long thing, but it's really good. It's from Reddit and it's from the subreddit Ask Historians. And the question was, I'm an upper-class Englishman in Victorian England during the height of Egyptomania. So that was what it was called, was Egyptomania. Who has been invited to a mummy unwrapping party. What can I hope to expect? And then Jinsu Viking comes in 7 years ago with this answer. Very good. It would vary quite a bit. During the 19th century, it was possible for individual travelers to purchase mummies and ship them back to Europe without any interference from customs authorities. So the most common sort of mummy unwrapping party would be a standard Victorian dinner party held by a friend of yours who has recently returned from his travels abroad. Instead of showing photos, he would regale you with tales of his journey. As the featured event of the evening, he would bring out the mummy he had purchased, place it on the central table, could even be a billiard table in his games room, and remove the bandages in any way that he could. During the process, he would attempt to spook you with stories of ancient curses or impress you with his knowledge. At the end, the mummified dead body would be on display, and the overall effect could be either one of a learned lecture or of telling spooky stories around a campfire. The second type was a form of public spectacle. You would be invited to an exhibition featuring artifacts returned from Egypt, i.e. looted, And after having traveled through the exhibit and dined, a sarcophagus would be brought out and opened with great ceremony. The mummy would be slowly unwrapped by someone with considerable expertise. The jewelry and protective amulets found within the wrappings would be shown to all and passed around. Some exhibitors had even had a rotating stand which they could place the mummy on so that they could unwrap the mummy with great flourishes and show all sides as the mummy was slowly unveiled. After the body was unwrapped, you would be invited to come closer and gaze into the face of an ancient prince, priest, whatever. Giovanni Belzoni, a former circus strongman who was a prolific looter/Egyptologist, is perhaps the most famous of the showman-type unwrapping party throwers. The third type was a part of a meeting of a learned society such as the Royal Asiatic Society or the Mechanics Institution, and involved the great and the good of society, aristocrats, bishops, doctors, etc. Such an unwrapping would be considered essentially an act of scientific study by scholars and accompanied by a lecture. You would be gathered around the mummy, which could be in its original sarcophagus or only in its bandages. The speed of the unwrapping could vary quite a bit, depending on whether those gathered were interested in the nature of the wrapping itself or in the body and the mummification processes involved. Those with the talent would be called upon to sketch the unwrapping as it proceeded, with the idea of presenting the sketches as a record of the procedure or as the plates that would form part of scholarly publication. The person doing the unwrapping would be a doctor or a surgeon, and once the body was unwrapped, it would be examined minutely by the participants to determine what could be learned anatomically about the mummification process, although some participants would likely be more voyeuristic than scientific. The body and its wrappings was usually donated to a museum after the party. Thomas Pettigrew became quite famous during Victorian times for this type of mummy unwrapping party, and wrote about such parties in the introduction to his book, A History of Egyptian Mummies, and an account of the worship and embalming of the sacred animals by the Egyptians, with remarks on the funeral ceremonies of different nations and observations on the mummies of the Canary Islands, of the ancient Peruvians, Burman priests, etc. That's a title, and that was published in 1834, and that's and that's mummies.
So
That's
mummy
it.
show and tell.
Mummy show and tell, essentially. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, so they were so obsessed with them that you would go over to your boy's house for dinner, and then afterwards you would unwrap a mummy.
That's just nuts.
And that's my story.
Wow.
I don't know if it was as gross, but pretty gross.
That's pretty gross. But then, bringing back how we, use humans for stuff today.
Yeah, we do.
A good point. Wow, that was great.
Thanks.
Who would have thought mummy, you know?
Not me.
Now I know why mummy.
Now I know why mummy. And who mummy and how mummy.
And what mummy. And when mummy.
And when mummy, most importantly.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Well, what a way to cap off spooky season, am I right?
Yeah. There's 6 days left of Spooky Lake month.
5.
And then I'll be...
Well, I guess she has to post Oh, yeah, 6. Pardon me.
7, because she hasn't posted today, so if you include that.
So 7. Okay. Fair.
But yeah, that's it. That's Spooky month.
That's it. That's all, folks.
And now we're going to not record a single episode until next year. So,
yep.
Bye-bye forever.
Bye. It's only a spooky season podcast.
This is just a spooky season podcast. That would be tough. Cool. Well, catch you in a couple weeks.
Catch you on the flippity flop.
Bye-bye.
Bye.